be in the spotlight. They don't have a leg to stand on human rights wise, okay? And so what we should do is we should highlight the activities of this regime. And that's what Ambassador Ford did when he went to Hama. Second, in terms of Ahmad Mustafa, what to do about Ahmad Mustafa and the Syrian ambassador? Well, if we limit the scope of his travels around Washington, D.C. and the diplomats in New York from around New York, he's going to do the same thing to Robert Ford. I'd like Robert Ford to be able to go out and visit another Syrian city that's having a massacre, no matter where it is in Syria. Now, however, Ahmad Mustafa can't stand the light. If you report on what he's doing, what he's done concerning cracking down on the Syrian opposition, he'll scurry away, don't worry. But the most important thing is that also there's a very active campaign to follow what the Syrian embassy is up to and to openly try and challenge the way it's trying to frame stories here in the United States about what's going on inside of Syria. And believe me, that'll be a much more effective measure that will cause the Syrian regime much grief. But it involves their dedicating resources to it to follow what the Syrian embassy is up to in this country. What I mean by resources is clocking their stories, going to talk to Ahmad Mustafa. And also, I think you'll see some stories that are coming out here in the coming days. The FBI is investigating those activities at the moment among the Syrian opposition that have been possibly organized out of the Syrian embassy.
I would disagree a little bit with Andrew about, I don't see why throwing the book at them would hurt. Because right now, why does the government, let me ask you, why do you think the government doesn't like these demonstrations? It's economic sanctions of the people against the government. They're not working. They're not producing anything. The economic productivity of the country has gone down severely. Now, what's keeping the country alive is Damascus and Aleppo, which are not demonstrating. And this is the issue, is that they're doing economic sanctions on their own government, but yet we're saying we want to be compassionate and not do economic sanctions. Most Syrians I've talked to want us to do everything possible to end this quickly, because otherwise it's going to be, as Andrew said before, a slow train wreck over months and months. While it's better to shut them off completely and let them wither away within weeks rather than within months and months as they continue to feed off of the petrodollars that are 1/3 of their economy. So ultimately, I don't think that Syrians are going to be suffering any more than they are today. I mean, they're pulling out every stop they can to get food and things like that. And the government, by the way, is, when they surrounded Daraa, they prevented food and medical care from going in anyway. So I think we need other things we can do is have a special rapporteur to Syria to do more than the ambassador can only go certain places where he's given permission to go. So a lot of that, I have to say, with all respect, Mr. Ford's doing a great job, but it's really more PR for the State Department than actually helping the Syrians, because actually some of the Syrians that spoke out and cheered in the streets ended up getting murdered, because they were doing that. Now, he is bringing more attention and bringing clarity to where our position is, which I think is helping. But at the end of the day, I don't know if that's actually going to help change the government as much as economic sanctions would strangle off the lifeblood of that. Another thing we can do is internet ops. We can do a lot more to help the opposition against the things that we were talking about the Iranians do, etc., that I don't think we're doing. We have the technology to help the opposition promote their ideas electronically, which they're doing right now through their basements and through kitchens and other things through laptops, that we have the ability to help them with behind the scenes and covertly.
One point. I agree, and I think we should look at even some smart sanction. I think sanction is the way to go, as my friend Zerdi said. Yes, there's going to be a lot of pain and suffering for a while, but this is the only way to remove this regime. And also, we need to help more the democratic and the minorities and other groups who are real partners with the West and America and everybody else to support them using the mass media access, the internet access. This is the right way to do it. The sanction is the only way to do it. This regime needs to go.